Growing up as an only child in a modest household taught me the value of resourcefulness and ambition from a young age. My parents, though not wealthy, managed to provide me with a solid education. "Alina, make something of yourself," they often encouraged. And so, fueled by their support, I pursued a career in fashion design. College was a transformative experience. It was there that I met Samuel, another aspiring designer who matched my determination and creative flair. We bonded over endless nights spent sketching and sewing in the studio, sharing dreams of the fashion empires we admired and the revolutionary designs we hoped to create someday. "Alina, your imagination is boundless," Samuel would say during one of our late-night brainstorming sessions. "Ever thought about starting your brand?" His enthusiasm was contagious, and it spurred thoughts of creating something truly unique. After graduation, Samuel and I married in a simple ceremony attended by a handful of friends and family. Our vows were pledges of support for each other's dreams and aspirations, as much personal as they were professional. However, tragedy struck soon after when I lost both my parents to a sudden flu outbreak. The grief was overwhelming, but it brought with it an unexpected inheritance, a house and $800,000. It was a painful way to come into such means, yet it offered us a foundation to finally start the fashion line we'd always envisioned. "We shouldn't let this opportunity slip by," Samuel suggested one evening, surrounded by old fabric samples and design drafts. Motivated by our shared vision, we launched our clothing line from the inherited house. I took the lead on the creative front, designing and sewing our initial prototypes, while Samuel handled the business side. When our debut collection sold out quickly, our excitement was palpable. "It's happening, Samuel. People love what we're creating," I exclaimed. His proud response, "You're incredible, babe," filled me with warmth and reassurance. As our business flourished, so did our family. Balancing motherhood with our expanding company was daunting at first, but I soon discovered my strength and adaptability, managing sketches and fabric choices with a baby on my hip. "You're doing marvelously," Samuel would remark, admiring my ability to blend parental duties with professional demands. The arrival of our second child only deepened my resolve and our commitment to both our growing family and our business. Over 13 years, our routine settled into a steady rhythm of family and work life. I poured my heart into our company and our children, while Samuel's role increasingly took him abroad to secure fabric deals and expand our brand. His trips became more frequent and his absences longer, which sometimes left me with a sense of unease, though I attributed it to the normal stresses of balancing a growing business with family life. I focused on maintaining a joyful home, keeping our children happy, and our business thriving, even as the dynamics between Samuel and me began to shift subtly. Our conversations at dinner had dwindled to mere whispers, and gradually, Samuel and I found ourselves in separate beds. One stormy night, while Samuel was away on what was supposed to be a business trip, a call from my friend Georgia changed everything. Her voice wavered as she spoke. "Alina, I wasn't sure if I should tell you, but I saw Samuel downtown today." I tried to dismiss it casually. "Oh, probably just another meeting," though my heart sank with doubt. "No, Alina. He wasn't alone. He was with a young woman, and they seemed close." Her words hit me hard, and although I wanted to deny it, suspicion crept into my thoughts. When Samuel returned, the air between us was charged with tension. Finally, one quiet evening, I gathered my courage and confronted him in our silent living room. "Samuel, are you seeing someone else?" He didn't seem shocked by my question. Instead, there was a weary acceptance in his eyes as he nodded. "Yes." The simplicity of his confession felt like a betrayal. "How long?" I demanded, a mixture of anger and hurt in my voice. "A few months," he confessed, avoiding my gaze. It just happened," I retorted, my sadness turning into fury. "Things like this don't just happen, Samuel. You made a choice." He offered no defense, only a tired resignation. "What do you want to do?" he asked. Thinking of our children and the life we had built, I knew the betrayal was too profound, the gap too wide to bridge. I want a divorce. To my surprise, he didn't object. If that's what you want, I won't fight you. And just like that, after 13 years, our marriage was ending. Not with a battle, but with a quiet surrender. We divided everything evenly. I kept the house and we shared custody of the kids. The entire process was handled with unsettling efficiency, as if dissolving just another business transaction. Life after the divorce was a mix of highs and lows. The house felt emptier, and the children, sensing the shift, clung to me more. I immersed myself in work and parenting, dedicating every moment to keeping our lives stable. At a community event on Saturday, a friend introduced me to Luke, a widower with a warm smile and a gentle demeanor. "Alina, meet Luke. He runs a legal practice," she said, bridging the gap between us. Luke extended a friendly hand. "Nice to meet you, Alina. I've heard a lot about your designs." I laughed it off. "Thanks, but it's just a lot of late nights fueled by caffeine." We connected instantly, discussing everything from parenting challenges to our careers. Luke, a lawyer, was practical and grounded, a refreshing contrast to my creative whirlwind of a life. "It must be tough running a business and managing 2 kids on your own," he empathized. "It's like a circus, but we manage," I replied. "And you? How's solo parenting treating you?" He sighed, a touch of melancholy in his tone.
"It's not easy.
Lily misses her mom a lot, but we take it one day at a time." Our friendship deepened from there. We met for coffee while the kids played, and it was comforting to have someone who understood the trials of single parenting. Luke's steady presence became a reassuring constant in my life. A few months later, while the kids were absorbed in a movie, Luke and I sat on the porch, enjoying the cool evening air. "Alina, I've been thinking," Luke started, hesitating a bit. "Would you be interested in going out sometime, just the 2 of us?" His question caught me off guard. It had been quite a while since I'd even thought about dating. "Are you sure that's a good idea?" "We both have our kids to think about," I replied, a bit wary of complicating things. He smiled reassuringly. "That's exactly why it makes sense. We understand each other's lives, the whole package." Dating Luke felt like a refreshing new start. He was thoughtful and straightforward, traits I had grown to appreciate deeply. The kids loved him too, and Lily, with her bubbly personality and infectious laughter, quickly won a special place in my heart. One evening, while we all enjoyed dinner together, Luke gave me a serious look and said, "Alina, I know it might seem soon, but everything about this feels right. How would you feel about making this a more permanent arrangement?" Looking around at our blended family, with laughter echoing around us, I felt a profound sense of happiness. "Luke, that sounds wonderful." We had a small wedding, just us, the kids, and a few close friends. It was more than a new chapter. It was a fresh beginning, a new story filled with hope for happiness that I hadn't let myself fully imagine before. But then, one afternoon, the calm was shattered by a call from Samuel, whose name flashing on my phone filled me with dread. "Alina, I'm filing a lawsuit against you," Samuel declared, his voice filled with hostility. "You took more than your fair share in the divorce. Thanks to my new father-in-law, I have top lawyers now. We're going to make sure I get what I deserve. And I'm not stopping there. I'll take everything from you." His words were like a punch to the gut. "You can't be serious, Samuel. We settled everything fairly," I protested. "Fair? Do you think you left me any choice? You're going to pay for what you did. You were never a good wife, and now you'll see what happens when you cross me," he sneered, ending the call with a smug laugh. I was left shaking and in tears when Luke found me. "Babe, what's wrong?" he asked, his voice full of concern as he knelt beside me. "It's Samuel, he's suing me. He says he wants everything, claiming I cheated him in the divorce," I managed to say through my tears. Luke's expression hardened. "He won't get away with this, Alina. I'll take this to court myself. We'll fight him, and we'll win. He has no basis for any of this." His assurance was comforting, but it was clear that a storm was brewing. Weeks later, the situation escalated when I encountered Samuel and his new wife, Diana, at the school parking lot. Diana gave me a malicious smirk. "Looking pretty rough, Alina. Bet Luke's going to bail soon too, huh?" Samuel added loudly, enough for others to hear. "Yeah, Alina. Look at you and these kids. Maybe I should take them too since you can't handle anything right. The murmurs from other parents were humiliating. You need to shut your mouth, Samuel. Not in front of the kids, I hissed, my anger boiling over. He just laughed coldly. Can't handle the truth? See you in court, Alina. They walked away, leaving me there, seething and humiliated, but determined to stand strong. The passion within me had been ignited. This was no longer merely about safeguarding my assets. It was about preserving my self-respect and securing my children's futures. We need to delve deeper, Luke. There's more beneath the surface of this lawsuit, I declared upon arriving home. Luke was quick to concur. Let's hire a private investigator, someone who can discreetly unearth whatever Samuel is concealing. The following day, we engaged a highly recommended PI known for his tact and thoroughness. After briefing him on the entire scenario, Samuel's unexpected lawsuit, his threats, and his new lifestyle, I made my expectations clear. Mr. Hudson, I need to understand who he's associating with, what maneuvers he's making in his business. Everything, I instructed. The PI, jotting down notes, assured me he would begin immediately. You'll have all the details soon. The ensuing weeks were a blur of anxiety and anticipation, waiting for any update from the investigator. When my phone finally rang with news, my heart thumped so vigorously that I struggled to speak. Mrs. Lukes, I've discovered some alarming information about your ex-husband. Mr. Hudson began without any preamble. Tell me everything, I responded, bracing myself for the worst. Well, it appears Samuel has been engaging in several dubious activities. Most shockingly, he's involved in a relationship with an underage girl. I have conclusive evidence of this, he reported. Shock and disgust overwhelmed me. That's appalling. Can we use this in court? There's more, Mr. Hudson continued. He has been covertly undermining your business, enticing your clients and key staff with better offers to switch to his side. The betrayal was profound, feeling like a sharp stab. He's attempting to obliterate me and my company, I uttered, fury now overtaking my initial shock. Yes, and there's proof of him trying to sully your reputation too. He bought a batch of subpar products and released them under your brand name to damage your image, Mr. Hudson added. After the call, I swiftly shared the details of Samuel's affair with his current wife, Diana, who had scorned me previously. Although it was a small act of retribution, she needed to witness the true character of the man she was defending. Within hours, Diana called me, crying uncontrollably. Alina, I'm so sorry. I've seen the emails. How could he? I was terrible to you, and all the while, Samuel was. Diana, calm down, I interrupted, my anger softening somewhat at her distress. What's done is done. I believe you weren't aware. She sniffled. I want to help you, Alina. I want to get back at him. Cautiously, I agreed to meet her at a local cafe. When we sat down, Diana pushed a folder across the table. These are documents and emails from Samuel. He's been diverting clients from your company to his. He's planning to ruin you completely. Flipping through the documents, the full extent of Samuel's treachery was starkly evident. He had laid a trap to discredit me and seize my business for a fraction of its worth. I looked up, meeting her gaze. Diana, thank you for bringing this to me. Let's not let Samuel know we're aware. We need a strategy. She nodded, wiping away a tear. Anything you need, Alina. I'm with you. As the court hearing approached, the alliance between Diana and me grew unexpectedly strong. We met often, strategizing over coffee at the very cafe where our plot against Samuel had begun. Diana was remarkably candid, contrasting sharply with her previous demeanor. Alina, I brought more emails today. Look at these, she said one afternoon, sliding a stack of papers across the table. As I perused the documents in front of me, each page revealed more of his calculated moves against my business. This is crucial, Diana. With this evidence, we can demonstrate to the court the extent of his actions, I remarked. Diana nodded, her expression resolute. I can't believe I didn't see this sooner. I'm fully committed now. Let's take him down. Our meetings evolved beyond exchanging information. They became sessions where we fortified our bond through our shared sense of betrayal. One day, as we were concluding, Diana sighed deeply. I once thought he left you because you lacked something. Now I realize it's he who's inadequate, not you. Understanding the full scope of Samuel's treachery, that he aimed to tarnish not just my personal life, but also my professional world, I knew immediate, bold action was needed to protect the trust built with our clients and suppliers over the years. I called an urgent gathering of all key stakeholders, explaining that the integrity of our brand was compromised by Samuel's deceptive strategies. Seated at the head of the conference table, surrounded by familiar faces, some I had known for decades, I addressed the group. Thank you for assembling on such short notice, I started, my voice firm despite the inner chaos. You might have heard troubling rumors about our company. Today, I want to clarify the facts. I detailed how Samuel had been covertly undermining our operations by introducing low-quality products and attempting to lure away our clients by presenting better offers. He had even gone to the extent of distributing counterfeit products under our brand to degrade our reputation. As I revealed these details, murmurs of shock and disbelief spread through the room. I am here to affirm our dedication to quality and transparency, I continued. We are taking immediate steps to rectify these issues, including verifying the authenticity of any product sold under our brand and offering compensation for any substandard goods distributed. The attendees nodded, some visibly relieved by our proactive measures. After the meeting, many approached me, expressing their support and appreciation. We've always valued your leadership and your products, Alina, one longtime supplier commented. We're with you, not just in good times, but also when challenges arise. Fueled by this support, I decided to take our message public. We prepared a social media post to alert our customers about potential fakes and outline steps for verifying the authenticity of their purchases. The response was overwhelmingly positive, with many expressing their continued trust and appreciation for our honesty. As I read through the comments, a sense of pride washed over me. We were more than a brand. We were a community, and this challenge had only strengthened our bonds. When Samuel unexpectedly called, proposing a settlement meeting, I was intrigued. He suggested we meet at a downtown restaurant, a neutral venue. Luke, my steadfast supporter, accompanied me. Arriving at the restaurant, we found Samuel and Diana already there. The atmosphere was tense, a stark contrast to the ambient noise of other diners. Samuel wasted no time. I've decided to be generous and forgive you, Alina, he began, his tone condescending enough to make my skin crawl. All I ask in return is for your best clients and a small compensation of $4 million. His demands were so ludicrous that I couldn't help but laugh. You must be joking, I said, looking him straight in the eye. My initial amusement quickly turned to resolve. Not only will I not comply, but I am also taking you to court, Samuel, for libel and copyright infringement. We possessed all the proof necessary to substantiate our case. Samuel's confident grin momentarily wavered, but he quickly regained his poise. Oh, please, you think you can intimidate me? Diana's father has secured the best legal team money can buy, he boasted. As he issued his threat, Diana, who had been quiet up to that point, suddenly stood up. Her chair screeched loudly across the floor, drawing curious looks from other diners. Actually, Samuel, she began, her tone steady and unexpectedly calm, I won't be financing your legal battles any longer. I'm aware of the affair and the underage girl. I'm filing for divorce. She reached into her bag, pulled out a stack of papers, and slammed them on the table before him. These are the divorce papers. My father is appalled by your behavior, and his lawyers are prepared to support me. Not you, in exposing your wrongdoing. Samuel's complexion turned ashen, his eyes flickering between the divorce papers and Diana, struggling to determine which was more devastating. He opened his mouth to plead, but Diana turned to me instead. Alina, I'm truly sorry for everything. I was blind, but now I see exactly who he is, she said, her gaze filled with sorrow yet determination. I understand why you left him. I'm leaving him too. With that, she walked out of the restaurant, leaving behind a stunned silence. Samuel's previous confidence dissolved into desperation. He fell to his knees, pleading, Please, Don't let this ruin me. Think of my career, my life. We left him there, kneeling on the floor of the restaurant, and I walked out feeling a mix of relief and triumph. Samuel's schemes to undermine me had not only failed, but had spectacularly backfired. The court later found him guilty of unfair business practices and ordered him to pay compensation. His reputation was ruined, and his unethical dealings had left his company not just unstable, but ultimately bankrupt. In an ironic twist of fate, I was offered the opportunity to buy out his company, a strategic move that expanded my business and solidified my position in the industry. It felt like reclaiming a part of my past that Samuel had tried to tarnish. One morning, as I reviewed new designs for the upcoming season in my office, Luke popped his head in, wearing a grin. "Hey, got a minute?" I looked up, smiling back. "For you always. What's up?" He leaned against my desk, his eyes twinkling with excitement. "Now that all this mess with Samuel is over, why don't we do something fun? Just you, me, and the kids. A week of sun, sand, and no business talk, just family time." As we began planning our getaway, the phone rang. I answered, expecting another business call, but was surprised to hear Diana on the other end. "Alina, hi. I just wanted to check in with you," she began, her voice tentative. "Diana, hi. It's good to hear from you. How are you holding up?" I asked, my tone filled with genuine concern. "I'm doing okay, considering. The divorce is moving forward, and it's messy but freeing in a way," she replied, a small laugh escaping her. "I'm glad to hear you're finding some peace in all this," I said. "And thank you again for everything. We couldn't have resolved this without your help." After hanging up, I leaned back in my chair, reflecting on the dramatic changes. From adversaries to allies, the journey with Diana had been unexpected but profoundly impactful. Later that day, I gathered my team at the office to announce the return of stability to our operations and to celebrate the loyalty and hard work everyone had demonstrated through the challenging times. "As you all know, it's been a rough 8 months," I began, surveying the group of faces, some weary but all relieved, around the room. "Despite all the challenges, our journey has only made us stronger, and it's primarily due to your unwavering commitment and toughness." The meeting concluded with a spontaneous celebration as cakes and beverages emerged, allowing everyone to unwind and enjoy a shared sigh of relief. Later that evening, back at home with Luke and the kids, I experienced a sense of happiness that had been elusive for quite some time. We gathered around the dinner table, filled with laughter and chatter about our upcoming beach vacation. This chapter in our lives concluded not with any regrets, but with a renewed appreciation for the relationships that had been tested yet ultimately fortified. Now we look forward to creating new memories, discovering fresh joys, and embracing a restored sense of tranquility.